Cowherd is bold, unique, and outspoken.
Wow.
You can see him on The Herd, weekdays at noon Eastern on FS1 and the Fox Sports app.
It is time for a brand new edition of the Tennessee Tailgate Show, Georgia Week in Knoxville, as we get you ready for Vol Network coverage coming up at 1 o'clock. Alongside Ron Slay, I'm Will Boling. Great to have you with us, and we give the phone number off the very top of the show, 615-737-1045. We've got an hour to talk with you about Tennessee and Georgia. Ron Slay.
Yeah.
What's up, my friend?
Man, listen here, man. When I say fired up, I mean it in every sense of the word. Reason being, because it ain't just me no more, Will. It ain't just you.
It's not just us.
It ain't just the shows on this station. Man, it's all of Vol Nation, and it's crept around really, really slow to lead into the week. And I think the momentum is built, and it's coming to a halt today, right up on Rocky Top. These Georgia Bulldogs, I'm telling you right now, they are phenomenal. But, boy, it is something to be said about what's going on Rocky Top in that offense. Yeah, the defense makes plays when they need to make plays, but today, upset watch.
Woo.
You better watch it because it's going down, baby. It is going down. Not only did we pick, well, I already picked him. You listen to the show all week. I picked him. I don't know what everybody else is going to do, but I know what Lane Kiffin did. I know what he went on College Game Day and picked. So, I mean, yes, he plays up to the crowd a lot, and that's smart. But you got to go out there and pick something and stand on it. He picked it. He stood on it. He ain't on that branch alone because I'm out there too, and Ramon out there too.
Ron Slay is fired up today
yeah.
for the people, and you can join us to either talk him down or fire him up even more.
Yeah.
615-737-1045 if you want to join us today. Phone lines are wide open. Not going to be that way for long, though. 615-737-1045. We typically have an hour and a half with a 2:30 kickoff here on CBS. We have an hour today with you until 1 o'clock to talk Tennessee and Georgia.
Yeah.
We will give our picks, score predictions at the end of the show.
Yeah.
I will have a bet that you should make because, Ron Slay, we haven't planned this the past couple weeks.
No, we haven't.
On the way out of the show, I've given a bet that Tennessee fans should make going into the game, and I think I'm like 3 for 3 on that.
Oh, you've been kicking butt.
So,
you've been kicking butt, Will.
I'm going to continue to give the people some free United States dollars.
Why wouldn't you?
And we're going to do that at the end of the show. 615-737-1045. We expect loaded phone lines today. And you can also hang out on 104.5 The Zone TV. Skip the phone lines. Chat directly with us on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitter.
Yeah.
Where the comments, Slay, are already pouring in. Harold on YouTube says, go Vols.
Yeah.
Swag Buck on Twitch says Tennessee not scoring more than 14.
That's what I'm talking about. And see, you, Swag Buck, I wish you were right here around us because guess what? I'll lay a bet on you right now. As I said 4 weeks ago, I guarantee they score more than any other team on them, on Georgia, than happened in the SEC regular season. And I think the high is 13, maybe with
Team total?
Yeah.
Ooh, no, I'm not sure, actually.
Kentucky. I think Kentucky.
Oh, the high,
13,
yes.
Yeah, the high.
13.
So 13 is the high, and I said they'll score. So you going down on that little bit, that little 14. 17 is the minimum that they'll score. But I'm picking them to win the damn game. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing.
Last week, we had Kentucky fans calling in and telling us that Kentucky plays big boy football.
Yeah.
Didn't really work out for them.
Nah.
And we cherish calls from not only Tennessee fans, but Georgia fans.
Yeah. Heck
Ron
yeah.
Slay was down on one knee last week, begging Kentucky fans to call in and trash talk him. I imagine that Georgia fans will oblige your request a little bit more readily than Kentucky fans that don't even know that football's still happening.
Right. And there's plenty of you guys around here. So listen, call in. We want to hear from you. But this is what I'm telling you also. Call me crazy. Call me crazy. I'm okay with that.
You're
I
crazy.
told you last week. I told them last week. They used to call me Crazy Joe. Now they call me Batman. I'm going to give me a bat in the studio so I can now be called Batman because I'm going to war with them, baby. And I know some other people going too. That's 102,455 right up there on Rocky Top. Let's do it.
615-737-1045. We will have our predictions at the end of the show, our player to watch for Tennessee coming up as well. But this is your chance to talk with us and give your predictions for Tennessee and Georgia. We go to the phone lines to start the show. Andy leads us off. Andy, what's going on, my friend?
Talk to us, Andy.
Good afternoon, guys. I'm so glad to get to hear you this afternoon. It's before this big game.
Yeah,
Are we ready?
Let's go.
Are we ready? Hey,
let's
Ron,
go.
you with me, Ron?
Come on, man.
You with me, Ron?
Come on, man.
Here's what I'm saying. I'm going to hit you with this. Tennessee by 4. Oh, Tennessee by 4, I told you. A lot more than 13 points. 13 points, what children do.
Yeah.
These are grown men walking out there.
Yeah.
Hendon going to take that field. Let everybody know what's going on. Come on with me, Ron Slay.
Let's go.
Rocky Top.
You'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top. Woo! Rocky Top, Tennessee. Let's go, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Thank you, Andy.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the energy we want.
I promise you we are going to sprinkle a little bit of analysis within this show as well
You
because
sprinkle it, Will.
we have got a lot to get into. We've got a lot of hype in this room right now.
Yeah.
Ron Slay's feeling good today.
Oh, very good.
Very good today.
Yeah.
So the prediction of Tennessee scoring more points than any team has against Georgia this year.
Yeah.
14 points would be the number. Kentucky and South Carolina, which is crazy.
Right.
Both scored 13 against Georgia this year. The Gamecocks kicked 2 field goals in the first quarter and then scored a garbage time touchdown late. Tennessee is the fastest starting team in all of college football.
Yeah.
138-37 in the first quarter. Georgia has outscored their opponents 101-12.
Yeah.
So these two teams are first and second in the SEC in first quarter scoring differential.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if that's a good thing for Tennessee or a bad thing. If they're about to see a team that also starts fast. Here's the thing, Slay. Tennessee has to start not just fast, but like supersonic fast today.
Yeah.
You can't simulate this offense in practice for a defense.
No, you can't.
It can't be done. Defensive coaches say it all the time. Blaine Bishop was telling me the other day. He said there is just no way to simulate what Tennessee does.
Yeah.
Georgia's going to have Tennessee's tempo figured out a little bit
Yeah.
in the second half of this game. Tennessee needs to start as fast as they have all season in order to have a chance to just cover the spread today.
Yep, and there you have it, man. And this isn't a team that if they even go up, it's not a team that has the luxury of being able to take their foot off the pedal. You can stretch the game out a little bit more as far as staying at the line of scrimmage or calling your play. We saw that early on in the season when they had to burn a little bit of the clock. But this isn't a team that has that luxury because they don't have the depth. Like you said, going into the second half, looking at the game, adjustments are made at that time. And when the adjustments are made, that's when depth comes and becomes a problem for Tennessee. So to keep that factor out, offensively, you got to be able to keep rolling with the ball. And that's exactly what's going to happen up there. I expect it. Now, it may not start 14-0, 17-0, anything like that. But you heard Heupel I hope you heard him on SEC Nation today. He said it's about being able to come back to the sidelines, reset, go back out there again. That's exactly what they've been doing all season. So with this team, this bunch, who also believes, along with Vol Nation, and it's a home game, and you coming off of 15-20, 316 yards last week, pin your ears back, the last drive, 4 sacks. Man, the pressure is on. It ain't relinquishing. I know what they going to do. Come on, Vols. I know what's going on.
615-737-1045 if you want to jump in. We say the number because we go back to the phones. We've got loaded phone lines.
Yeah.
Ron Slay. Let's go to Sterling in Spring Hill. What's going on, Sterling?
Sterling, what up?
Hey, I'm a lifelong Tennessee fan. I've been watching Tennessee since 1956, and I even listened on the radio when a fellow named Billy Cannon for OSU got tackled on the 1-foot line where Tennessee beat the number 1 team in the country in 1959. And I also remember when good old Bo Jackson ended up putting his towel over his head at when they played against Auburn and beat Auburn in Knoxville.
Yeah.
And I think the key to and I wanted to bring up one other thing, and that is there's a team named Florida that was a 20-point favorite with a guy named Casey Clausen. And I think they did pretty well against that team back in 2001.
Mm-hmm.
And the point I'm making is that I think that Clausen couldn't run like this guy, but I think the big hope for Tennessee is that Hooker can have a Clausen kind of game, and they can get a little bit of defense out of it. And I think they could win maybe 31-24.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
Thank you,
like
Starling. Look, the problem with this Georgia defense, Slay,
Yeah.
their leading tackler is their third-string inside linebacker.
Yeah.
This team, it keeps its defenders fresh. They cycle in guys left and right. Channing Tindall leads this defense with 45 tackles.
Yeah.
Doesn't even start at inside linebacker behind Nakobe Dean and Quay Walker. Quay Walker, a guy that was almost committed to Tennessee at one point.
Yeah.
Dean and Walker, the starting inside linebackers. So their third-string linebacker leads them in tackles. And Slay, if there is a blueprint to beating a Josh Heupel offense,
Yeah.
it's cycling guys in and out every single possession.
Yep.
It's keeping guys fresh to be able to keep up with the tempo that Tennessee's going to run.
Right.
I think this is an awful matchup for Tennessee.
No, but see, this is the thing. The reason I think it's a great matchup for him is the reason being that Heupel's not going to do subbing on offense. He's going to keep it spaced out. And like he said earlier on the show, all he got to do is get the chains moving. He get the chains moving, then it's no time to sub. Because if you're trying to sub, that means you're about to get 12 men on the field. It's set up that way, and it's set up to be sideline to sideline. So if one of those corners got to go out the game, when you send them on that deep route, when they're coming back in, we're rolling. Like, you got to sprint from that sideline all the way to the Tennessee sideline to defend your man. It's going to be a problem. And what I will say to that defense, it is a really great defense, and the reason those linebackers get to play the way they do is because they got two mammoths up front, and Jordan Davis and his buddy number 88, who's going to be like all of these young men on Georgia's defensive side of the ball will be playing on Sunday.
No doubt.
Like I said this weeks ago, man, they could be able to sub in. If the Titans got tired and said, you know what, Vrabel, we need us a week. Vrabel could easily go down to Georgia and say, hey, Kirby, I need a favor. Man, send me a couple of them dogs up here, man. Let them play for us this Sunday, and we could get them acclimated in a week. They could get playing. But I say that to say you got to stay on the field.
Yeah.
Now, what you are presented with when playing a Tennessee offense, one-on-one matchups, tackling in open space.
Yeah.
One of those guys make you miss. That safety ain't over the top to help you and get and be able to save you and make that tackle. Hey, man, be careful. Along with that, safeties are moved out. You got to make a decision. Either you in the box or you moved out. That is what allows the running game. Now you need this offensive line to step up. Keep them clean. That's why them linebackers able to play like that, because they got the mammoths up front, and them linebackers get the roam free. If you get them hands on them or they over pursue, got a little something different in store.
Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis are problems up front. I think Jordan Davis is the best player in college football. The interior defensive lineman who is a game wrecker the way Jeffrey Simmons was for the Titans on Sunday.
That man
night.
up for the Heisman, Will.
He ought to be.
Right. Yeah,
he's the best player in college football, no question. He's the Aaron Donald of college football. Tennessee's got a lot to do to try to stop him. Let's get one more call before we go to break. And you can join us on the phone lines as well, 615-737-1045. We're going to take a ton of calls during this hour sprint until Vol Network coverage starts at 1 o'clock. Let's go to James in Nashville. What's going on, James?
Morning, guys.
Morning.
I'm going to keep it short and sweet for y'all. It's going to be about field position. The field's going to be a lot longer than what most people will probably expect. I see it coming down to being a bunch of field goals. I'm going to say 23-20. Go Vols.
Hey, I like it.
Thank you, James.
I take it. And you know what? Let me add to James's point. I don't expect this to be like last week versus Kentucky.
Okay.
Each game takes on its own personality. This game could very well be a game about field position. Like Eli Rogers did a week before against Kentucky.
Right.
Hendon Hooker came back and did the exact same thing.
Yeah.
That's not what you see from Georgia. But I will say this. Each game Tennessee has played in, there's always at least, since we changed quarterbacks, 2 big plays that game. So, I mean, it's always going to be there to present itself.
615-737-1045 is where you can join us to talk Tennessee and Georgia here on this football Saturday. Chris and Bob will lead us off when we come back. It's the Tennessee Tailgate Show with Will Boling, Ron Slay, and we got a lot more to do. Coming up on 104.5 The Zone. Tennessee and Georgia coming up. Kickoff at 2:30 right here on 104.5 The Zone. Vol Network coverage takes over for us coming up in just under 40 minutes. Welcome back in. It's the Tennessee Tailgate Show on 104.5 The Zone. Will Boling alongside my guy, Ron Slay.
Cayenne
We're getting you ready for kickoff. Ron Slay's fired up.
Oh, yeah.
The callers are fired up, and you can join us at 615-737-1045. Let's go back to the phone line, Slay. Let's hear from Chris on line 4. What's going on, Chris?
What up, Chris?
Not much. I just wanted to find out what your opinion would be on Lonte Taylor and defensive backs and how they have to stop the good receivers from Georgia. And I appreciate Ron Slay being go Vol, but I'm an Arkansas guy, but I root for a good game, so I hope Tennessee has a good game today. Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Thank you, Chris.
Appreciate that.
Look, I think the biggest issue for Tennessee today is going to be covering the tight end. The Georgia tight end is the leading receiver of this team in Brock Bowers, 493 receiving yards. It's not a lot, but I think Tennessee in the nickel at the safety position and their linebackers covering a really good tight end is going to be a problem. I think that's the biggest issue as far as when Georgia throws the football.
Yeah, and I think when we're specifically talking about guys like Alontae Taylor and the DBs, I think you got to be able to match up man against these guys and, get a little help from maybe one safety, but, man, you got to control that line of scrimmage, man. I think a lot of it's going to be this game will be predicated on the line of scrimmage. If the Vols can control that line of scrimmage where they can get to Stetson Bennett, he doesn't have time to throw, he's getting the ball out quick, and they can jump routes. And if he got a clean pocket, it's going to be something totally different. But we got to be able to put enough in the box with this big offensive line, which now, granted, Kentucky's O-line is better than Georgia's O-line. Let's just put that out there. This ain't that same type of game.
Yeah,
I
think you're right.
What I'm saying? So I think looking at it, if they can control that and keep those linebackers free, keep Jeremy Banks free, keep those guys where they can roam and get to the tackle and wrap up better than you did last week. That was the problem. You don't want to get these guys like Zeus going downhill, the running back for Georgia, get them going downhill and you missing tackles and things like that. So we need Beasley and Banks and all these guys, Trey Flowers, Theo Jackson, all you guys, be able to come up, hit, make tackles, wrap up, and swarm to the ball. If that's the case, I think it's a great opportunity that will present itself for this game. Alontae Taylor has done a terrific job of coming on from early in the season. To me, his hips were a problem as far as getting them around, when to. Man, the man is studying film, and he's getting his development in. So I'm all in with him right now.
615-737-1045 if you want to jump in. Let's go to Bob in Dixon.
What up, Bob?
Calling in. What's going on, Bob?
Hey, great show, guys. Really appreciate it. I wanted to get away from X's and O's for just 1 second.
Nice, I like that.
And I wanted full disclosure. I've had the real privilege of coaching and playing at this kind of a level. And what I've seen in the past is teams that they might go 1-2, but 2 losses like that, you can see something happening with the team.
Mm-hmm.
They beat Kentucky. I'm wondering what this intangible of, you got 44, 46 kids walking in last Monday morning going, we believe.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a team out there that believes.
Yep.
And to me, that's an intangible. And I think it's Tennessee by 13. Want to get your thoughts on that intangible.
Let me take that first.
Thank you, Bob.
Now, Bob, see, I've been saying all week, man, I thought if they could keep it within 17, I was going to take a moral victory with that.
Okay.
Being the Vols.
Okay.
As the week went on, I looked at the same picture Bob was looking at. And I'm telling you people right now, if you're looking for X and O explanation, I ain't got it.
I got it. You do you, and I'll do the X and O.
Yeah, you take that. But I'm going to take you inside the mind of an athlete.
Because you've been there.
Yeah.
I've been there, not really, but you've really been there.
You done been there. You done been there, Will. I don't care what it is. And I'm talking about this is for lawyers or what. I don't care what. Man, it's a different feeling, and it's unexplainable. You cannot pinpoint it. You cannot touch it. There's no way you can. But I'm telling you one thing. You can definitely feel it in your soul. I'm talking about this deep in my belly, people. It is deep in my belly. The feeling that I'm getting, it's not, and people say it's jaded or whatever, but I'm telling you, it's something about momentum and belief in sports. This team has that. As it went last week, he's exactly right. 44 to 46 guys came in on Monday thinking, man, we can get this job done. I guarantee, ain't got number 60-something, 69 to be exact. on their roster.
Yeah.
So it wasn't difficult to get them other 15 on board. And if they didn't, we don't need you to play right now anyway. We're going to go out here and fight regardless. So I'm feeling you, Bob. It's something brewing up there right now. I'm not saying Georgia ain't going to win the national championship. Not saying they ain't going to win the SEC championship. I'm just saying this game right here, it may mean a little bit more, man. So I'm telling you, if you feel it in your belly, believe me, put that times 10 is exactly what them players feeling. And I stand on that.
Thank you for the call, Bob. 615-737-1045 if you want to join us. Slay, the biggest matchup Tennessee's got to win today is the Vols offensive line against the Georgia front seven.
Without question.
We know how Georgia defense, there really isn't a weakness.
Yeah.
They're second in college football in run defense. They're second in college football in passing defense.
Mm-hmm.
Hendon Hooker was sacked 5 times on Saturday night against Kentucky.
Right.
Tennessee's quarterbacks have now been sacked 33 times this season.
Mm-hmm.
The way you change that, winning on the perimeter. You have to win your one-on-one matchups in the screen game, down the field. You got to confuse this Georgia defense a little bit. That's the struggle I think Tennessee's going to have today, Slay.
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to win matchups on the perimeter to be able to set up the elementary stuff, the runs up the middle, the Hendon Hooker quarterback runs. Those don't really happen if you don't win your outside matchups, and my concern is that Tennessee's not going to be able to win its outside matchups today.
Yeah, and guess what, Will? I think they will. But reason being, no pun intended. Will, I think they will. But
there's a will, there's a way.
There you go. And the reason being, you look at it, man, the guys that they have out there, these ain't no rookie guys that's getting acclimated. Javonte Payton has been in the SEC a long time. Velus Jones has been playing college football a long time. Tillman ain't no spring chicken. You know what I'm saying? Even Jalen Hyatt. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's been in the mix. He's not as advanced as these other guys, but he's definitely been in the mix. So I look at it, man, you got to be careful, man. If they go into the game, Georgia being they, go into this game thinking that we got them one-on-one, you'll be shocked, man, because speed and strength, and these guys are physical. You don't break these runs and have runs against Missouri and South Carolina and run the ball that way without guys on the outside being physical, guys blocking downfield as well. So I say that to say I agree with you as far as the trenches go, and even more so as Jabari Small, Tyon Evans, if he can go. Like, these guys got to be able to pick up these linebackers that's blitzing. If it's protection, you got to stay in there for a second. You got to chip these guys or whatever because they coming to get Hooker. And Hooker got to have a clean pocket in order to operate. And that goes to your point. They got to win the outside matchup. And I think they can win that outside matchup, no problem. The thing that scares me is we got 5 linemen blocking, and the running back missed one of those guys, those linebackers coming in.
Right.
Then it can get scary because they're going to try to take his head off. And this is a tough character back there. But he ain't one to need to be taking hits. You know what I'm saying? So that's my take on it. I think you're right on that. But I give Velus Jones and them more credit. That guy, we saw him in the spring game. Man, this man was blocking downfield in the spring game. Like, I was like, wait a minute. Like, he ain't even got to do that. You know what I mean? This is a show-out season in spring games. You know what I mean? You get the crowd involved. Man, this man wasn't worried about that. And he was going to the other receivers. I saw him on the bench telling Tillman and those guys, hey, man, this is what you got to do. So, hey, and be careful. Tight end. Keep your eye on the tight end this week.
Absolutely. 615-737-1045 is where you can join us. Let's take one more call before we head to the commercial break. Let's go to Bubba in Dixon. What's going on, Bubba?
Ron.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Talk to me, Bubba. Come on.
Okay. I'm gonna just say this.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you what a blue tick coonhound's for.
Endurance. Come on. And I know you know.
Endurance.
I know you know.
He goes miles.
Mm-hmm.
He goes miles. He finds what he wants, and he sits there and howls, and he waits. He tracks it. Tracks it. Right?
Yeah.
That's what he does.
Yeah.
And he lets you know. What does a bulldog do? He look like he got punted in the face.
Man,
He can't go that far. He can't breathe. It ain't that good because guess what? Once you match these two up,
yeah,
you're going to see what this hyper offense is going to do.
Yeah.
And guess what? I'm going to say it right now.
Talk to me.
Georgia has some off-the-field issues. They're going to overlook Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? That blue tick coonhound is going to run and run and run, and they're going to be catching their breath every step of it. Tennessee, at least, by 14.
Come on,
Let it
Bubba.
rip.
There you go,
Come on,
Bubba.
baby. That's all. Car ain't got no roof.
Thank you
Tell
for the call,
man.
Bubba.
And that man right there, I'm going to tell you one thing about him. Y'all can say what y'all want to about Bubba. Bubba no dogs. And I'm telling you, that's factual. I know that for facts. That man ain't lying. That man ain't lying. That man, let Georgia come in there with their little tongue hanging. Let it come in there with their little tongue hanging in them little short, stubby legs, man. I'm telling you, we don't want to hear that cramping up. You better hydrate. Y'all know what y'all coming up. You better hydrate.
615-737-1045 is where you can join us. Slay, when we come back, I'm going to change my tune a little bit.
Okay.
I've been not as optimistic on Tennessee.
Okay. Talk to me then.
I don't think this is a good matchup for Tennessee.
Okay, talk to me then.
I'm going to give you the one reason why I have hope for the Vols today
Okay.
of keeping this one a little bit interesting.
Okay.
Give you the one big reason.
Okay.
We come back. We'll get to Darrington on the phone lines as well. You can join him and us at 615-737-1045. We got another half hour to go. Halfway through. It's halftime. Get your water. Get your stretches in.
Yeah.
Halftime of the show. We're going to come back. We're going to attack in the third quarter. It's 104.5 The Zone. Vol Network coverage begins in 25 minutes for the Vols and Dawgs from Neyland Stadium on a dark mode Saturday on Rocky Top. There's no need to go anywhere else over those next 25 minutes. Will Boling, Ron Slay back with you. It's the Tennessee Tailgate Show on 104.5 The Zone.
Yeah.
Appreciate you hanging out with us. You can hang out with us on the phone lines as well.
Yep.
Get in your take for this game at 615-737-1045. Slay, the reason why I have a little bit of hope.
Okay, that's what I've been waiting on.
Just a little bit of hope.
The hope should be more, but talk to me.
It's Georgia.
Okay.
This is the University of Georgia.
Right.
Like the one in Athens.
Yes.
The one that hasn't won a national championship since 1980, 17 years before I was born.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Georgia hasn't Georgia'd a game yet this year.
Yeah.
This would be a good time to start.
Yeah.
Georgia has not been challenged since they opened the season against Clemson.
Very true.
A bad Clemson team, albeit, and had a test against them. Since then, Georgia has outscored their opponents 336-59.
Yeah.
Okay? Georgia's not been in a close game. So imagine if Tennessee puts himself in a position to be in a close game in the third or fourth quarter, and a team that hasn't played in close games all season gets a little bit tight in front of this Neyland Stadium crowd.
Yeah.
That is my one hope for Tennessee today, that Georgia becomes Georgia again. Because, look, Georgia teams of the past probably lose today.
Yeah.
The problem is this is not a Georgia team of the past. That's where my argument kind of ends, is that this is not a classic Georgia team that folds when it matters most.
Yeah.
But that is my hope for this game, that Georgia remembers what its identity is as a football program and decides to be a little flat today.
Yeah, and you know what? Will, I like that. I like that.
See, I'm playing a little devil's advocate to myself.
You try
today.
your best, man. And let me tell you this, Will. If this game were in Athens, I'd feel a little different.
That's true.
I'd feel a little different. But no. They had to come up here from Georgia all the way to Tennessee. And not just Tennessee, where they can come right across the border and just have a good time. No, they had to go to East Tennessee. So they had to travel a little bit further, a little bit colder. It ain't that weather that they used to. And I'm going to tell you this right now, man. From coast to coast, from sea to shining sea, when you step foot in Tennessee, it is about the Vols. That's a part of it. That's exactly what's going down. So, listen, everybody ought to be tuned in right now to Tennessee Tailgate.
That's right.
If they not, you need to call a friend and call a friend and call that other friend and tell them tune in. Because I'm telling you right now, you know what I mean? I got my daughter-in-law and them listening. They up there listening. I got my nieces up there listening. I got my nephews. Latoya, I got you on deck. I'm telling y'all right now. Tune in. If you at work, tune in. If you at barbecue parties or pep rallies or whatever's going on,
blast
put
it to the
pause.
mountaintops.
Put it on pause. This is what Georgia got to deal with. It's non-stopping. People telling me to turn it down. I turned it up.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to put it out.
I'm going
to burn it up.
A bad way to get Ron Slay to turn it down is by telling Ron Slay to turn it down.
Exactly, man. You got to come with something different. And Georgia got to deal with that walking up in the Rocky Top. Not only that, Will, it's homecoming.
That's right.
It's homecoming. So it's people. I was getting calls last night. I was asked to come do a party. Come host the party. I said, nope. I got to have my energy right. It's 12 o'clock. I'll be there. I got to be back in there with Will to get everybody pumped up for the game. So I ain't going to be able to do it. But people in town. Peyton's in town. Candace Parker's in town.
There you go.
Like, it's people. Championships are in town. It's time, Will. That's all I'm trying to tell you, Will. So if you don't feel it, if you can't reach down in your stomach, come over here to the station. I'll reach down in your mouth and grab it out your belly and show you what it look like. You hear me? It's going down today, baby.
615-737-1045. Let's get to Darrington real quick on the phone lines. What's up, Darrington?
What you got, Darrington?
Man, I keep hearing all this UT talking. The only thing I can hear is 407 years ago.
Sounds good.
When we established this school in the 30s. Listen here, man.
Sounds
it ain't
good.
about where you've been. It's about where you're going. It ain't about what you did. It's about what you're doing.
Right
now, we worried about Georgia Bulldogs coming here to stump a mud hole and a darn tick. If you got ticks, you need to take your dog to the vet. Because we don't care about no ticks around here. Ain't nobody got no hounds. We don't look for them. Everybody wants Bulldogs. You hear what I'm telling you? We are right here here in the mountain of Georgia. Do you hear me?
There you
Y'all
go.
pick a homecoming. Y'all could have picked all a cupcake.
There you
Y'all
go.
picked the wrong
There
cupcake.
you
Because
go.
right now, we got a little alcohol in it. And somebody going to get some alcohol for us tonight. So we need everybody in your UT orange to dress up, and y'all got on them burial blacks. I done told you about wearing all that black just to come apologize for picking us, for putting us on your schedule. I don't know why y'all would do this. So I'm going to represent for any and everybody that is in Georgia that wants to let everybody know in Tennessee, good old Rocky Top is going down today. God ain't got no roof.
There we go. See, now let me
All right,
tell y'all
Darren.
this. I love that, Darren. That's the energy I'm looking for. But the only problem is you being a knockoff. Because the original is sitting right here. You're coming, so you going to go with my saying the car ain't got no roof. You're wrong, son. Your car got a roof. Maybe you ain't got a sunroof. Maybe you got that. But ours is topped off. And we roll a different way up here. You come up here with them little stubby legs, we sending you back. You hear me? You can't run 20 yards without having your tongue hanging, and we ain't got no water bowl up here for you. You put some water out there in front of them, you can't get to it because your tongue too tired, you laid out. Georgia Bulldogs, we want it. We want all the smoke, so bring it. We went. I guess y'all thought we was going to run. Man, we put on black uniforms. That's what we did. And instead of, this is the confidence level. Instead of saying, you know what, let's go out there in the traditional uniforms and let's fly below the radar and let's just play a good game.
Tradition's not going to help you today.
No, we going to stand out. The kids ask for black uniforms. Oh, you got them.
Ask and you shall receive.
You got them. That's your
And the
reward
door is
for
open
working
to you.
hard. Yeah. So let's get out here and kneel, put the light show on. Whoa! And it's going down, boy. When you see them lights flickering, don't go running. Come a little closer because we're going to leave the light on for you.
615-737-1045. Slay, we have a very special guest
Who we got?
that has joined us
Now,
here
who
on the
we
phone
got?
lines. The Macho Man himself
Uh-oh.
has called in to join us here on the Tennessee Tailgate Show. Macho Man, great to talk to you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling all the electricity. Yeah. All the electricity in the air and all through the stratosphere. Yeah, I might even climb all the way up to the top of Neyland Stadium today and drop the biggest cell.
Oh, we lost the Macho Man.
Don't you dare.
Where'd he go? Hold up.
Don't you dare.
Give me 1 second. Let's see if we can get him back.
Don't you dare.
Macho Man, we lost you for a second. Here we go. Macho
You better
Man.
get up and
All
drop
right,
that
here we go.
elbow.
We got
Drop
you back
that
now.
elbow, Macho.
Ooh. No, that's just like the disrespect the Volunteers did today. I got disrespected just now, but I'm going to let it slide. Yeah, but the Volunteers will not let it slide because, Georgia, we know you're number one. Yeah, we know that defense is tough, yeah, but you have never been tested like you're going to get tested today. The Volunteers might hang 60 on you, yeah, and when I look at the crowd of Georgia fans and I see with your hands on your head in disbelief, I'm going to be sitting there looking at you and saying, I told you so, because today's the day the Volunteers are going to shock the world and they're going to prove without a shadow of a doubt that they belong in the SEC and they are back in black. It's time. Volunteers, Rocky Top, big head.
Yeah, Macho.
Yes, sir.
Now, that's what I'm here for.
That's the good stuff.
That's what you put that in the bottle, and you open that bottle only on Saturdays. That's right, Macho. I'm
Break
drinking
glass in case of emergency.
Yeah, I'm drinking it, Macho. Pour me a big old glass. Big old glass. No ice.
615-737-1045 if you want to join us. Slay, I'm going to get the people going here for a minute.
Okay, let's do it.
Down in Gainesville right now, Florida 28, Samford 42.
Are you kidding me?
In the second quarter.
Are you kidding me?
I wish everybody listening on the radio right now could see Ron Slay's face on Zone TV.
What?
And if you're watching wrestling on Zone TV,
Hey, listen.
this is
okay.
the most shocked that I think I've ever seen Ron Slay.
Okay, so this is what I don't want to happen. Sanford, slow up just a little bit, guy. Like we trying to have the
These
upset
people
of
have
the
families,
year.
Sanford. Come on.
Yeah, wait, what's still gotten into y'all? Ooh, shoot.
So Samford,
Gator bites for everybody. Goodness.
Samford is dominating Florida. That's just at 42-28, late second quarter. I'm looking for this tweet because here we go.
Golly.
Slay, Samford has now scored more points against Florida than it has in entire games against Wofford,
Oh, come on.
Chattanooga, and UT Martin.
Stop it. Stop it. Enough is enough, man. Like, what?
Samford has scored more points against Florida than Bama, Tennessee, or Kentucky did this year, and it's the first half.
Now,
Dan Mullen's getting fired.
it's 42-28 in the first half.
It's the second quarter. Dan Mullen he might get fired at halftime. All right,
Wait a minute,
for the people
Will.
listening around their cars in Middle Tennessee right now, there are not a lot of things in the world that can make Ron Slay speechless. I've found out now that Samford beating Florida in the first half is one of those things.
It's the second quarter. Dude, I thought you were saying like the game about to end.
No.
Hey, man, listen.
It's almost halftime.
Man, hey.
Look, I'll tell you what. Tennessee should have beaten Florida.
Yeah.
I think we looked back at that game and thought, Tennessee had some plays on the field. They left some points on the field, but they put up a good effort against a good team. Kind of the way we felt after the Alabama game.
Yep.
Tennessee, if they played Florida tomorrow in Neyland Stadium, Vols are probably a touchdown favorite.
Dang.
At least the way Florida's playing right now.
Hey, man, wow. Hey, boy, that's got me.
Yeah, it does.
42-28. Man, hey, man, like every dog has his day. Every dog, like you go through peaks and valleys, man, and you just got to come out on the other side. But golly, like, man, I thought I saw it all up there on Rocky Top. I think, man, that Georgia, what was it, Georgia State or Georgia Southern that beat
Georgia
us?
State, yeah.
That don't seem so bad now.
Right.
Goodness gracious.
All right, and it's just gone to halftime, 42-35.
Good.
Florida scored.
Goodness gracious. Oh, man. Brady.
Florida scored a touchdown with 1:03 left in the first half. So if you took the over in this game, you're feeling good. It's a Samford team that lost 55-13 at home to Chattanooga.
Sheesh.
Like this is not just a bad this is not just a FCS team. This is a really bad FCS team.
Hey,
Samford's not good. I got a buddy that's a GA for that program, but that's a really bad football team.
That's wild right there.
615-737-1045 if you want to jump in on the conversation. Slay, we mentioned earlier field position.
Mm-hmm.
These are two of the best field position teams in college football they're going to play today.
Yeah.
Between Tennessee and Georgia. The average starting field position for these two teams.
Yeah.
Thought this was interesting. Georgia's number one in the SEC in their average starting field position, the 33-yard line, 33.02 to be exact. Second, Alabama. Third, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Third in the SEC, starting their drives at an average of the 32.25-yard line. That's pretty good for the way Josh Heupel wants to run this offense.
Yeah.
And Slay, I think the turning point for Tennessee this season, in this late season, because you kind of split the season up into kind of two seasons, right? You get non-conference early, you get the SEC season, then you kind of get the stretch runs. Really 3 seasons.
Right.
The turning point for me, into the second quarter in Lexington. Josh Heupel saying, I got 16 seconds to go about 35 yards.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for it.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of coaching, that's the kind of play call that invigorates your team to start believing in you as a head coach and believing in yourselves as players in that team. Tennessee's got to play to not lose today.
Yeah.
Tennessee's got to make those kinds of plays, and they've got to do it and convert pretty much every time.
Yeah.
That's the key today. When you get a situation where you got to go 25, 35 yards in 15 seconds, you're just always going to have to do it against teams like this.
Yeah, and that's when you turn in the corner, man. You turn the corner when times like that present itself, and you got to show up. Like you say, we're not playing for tomorrow. We're not playing for the next generation. We're playing for today. We're playing for these guys going out here to battle with us that went in here and put in the sweat and the blood each week, and now get to show it on Saturday. That's exactly what we're looking for. That's exactly what we're gonna get from Hype. That easy. Hype train rolling.
615-737-1045.
Man, we're out of time.
When we come back, I know, this has been a sprint. When we come back, one final chance to get on the phone lines and give your prediction for Tennessee and Georgia at 615-737-1045. But when we come back, Ron Slay and I give our predictions for Tennessee and Georgia, our key to the game, and our player to watch coming up next as we finish out the Tennessee Tailgate Show on 104.5 The Zone. One final segment here in the Tennessee Tailgate Show as you listen to 104.5 The Zone. Thanks so much for hanging out with us on 104.5 The Zone TV, on our FM radio dials as well. Fun show. It's flown by alongside Ron Slay. Will Boling back with you for the final time. Let's go rapid fire on the phones before Slay and I give our score predictions for this one. Let's start with Jeff in Spring Hill. Hey, Jeff, how are you?
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm glad I finally got to get through because when I said I was a Georgia fan, I heard the dial tone.
Uh-oh.
So I had to call back. I've been chirping at Ron on Twitter all week. So here's the thing, guys. You're wearing black because it's a funeral. Today is the day that Tennessee gets laid to rest. Georgia is a much better team. We're head and shoulders above every team in the SEC. It's not just the year of the dog, fellas. It's the decade of the dogs. We've taken over. It's over with. 41-13 dogs.
Like that. Ooh, that's a slaughter.
All right, Jeff.
I like that. Hey, I'll accept it, man, coming from a Georgia fan. But you do know, man, you wear black also to other people's funeral, too. So don't be mistaken and think you at your own funeral.
I was going to say, didn't Georgia famously wear black against Alabama?
Hey, indeed.
That year, 2008, 2009,
Indeed.
they got crushed on their home field.
Be careful.
They would know about that.
Be careful. Thank you for that call, man. That's why I hit him back on Twitter and was like, nah, ain't no way you got hung up on Georgia fan. Please call back. Like, we letting anybody through. It don't matter.
615-737-1045. Let's go to Jeremy in Smyrna on line 2. What's going on, Jeremy?
Talk to us.
What up, fellas?
What up, baby?
I'm a realist, so I'm not really, expecting too much. That being said, Vols by 50. Let's go, baby.
Yeah! That's what I'm looking for.
Had us in the first half.
Realistic views, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Realistic views. Yes, sir, Jeremy. That's my man. I ain't got no roof, baby.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. All right, Slay.
Let's do it.
It's prediction time.
Let's do it.
Lead us off. What you got?
All right, man. I'm looking at it to be a knockdown, drag-out fight. The big boy football that Kentucky fans were talking about they played last week. I think that's exactly what you get to see this week. It's going to be people swinging at the shoulder. They're going to stand in the ring, and they're going to punch. They're going to counter-punch, and they're going to punch again, and they're going to reset. And these Vols right here, man, deep down in their belly, they got the same feeling I got. Hyper will not stand for anything less. The 102, 455 in the stadium watching, they won't stand for nothing less. Vol Nation all around the world won't stand for nothing less. We go and take it to Georgia. 40, 38-35.
Woo.
Vols win.
All right.
Let's go to work.
Not bad at all. Let's take our last call here of the show. Let's go to Wes on line 1 to finish us off. What's going on, Wes?
What up, Wes?
Hey, yeah. That last caller, who I guarantee probably never stepped foot in the state of Georgia, but didn't go to the university like those Bama fans. Georgia fans are just alike. Listen, Tennessee rooting for Georgia. Here's what I think's happened. I think Larry Munson is going to look and be crying as he sees Tennessee pull the upset.
All right, Wes.
Now that right
You got a score for us, Wes?
I like that, Wes.
Wes is gone.
Wes said, hey, enough.
He said, I'm out.
Wes. Yeah, enough said. Like, what else you need to say?
He said,
That's how
drop
you
the
drop
mic
it.
real
That's
quick.
it. I like that, Wes.
Oh, man.
Yeah, shoot ya. What you got for us, Will?
All right. Look, it's not a good matchup for Tennessee on offense. I think Tennessee is going to have to settle for field goals. I don't think the Vols are going to be able to have explosive plays against this Georgia defense. Granted, I said that last week, and I was way off. I remember specifically looking at you and saying, I don't think Tennessee is going to be able to have explosive plays on Kentucky. So I think Tennessee might have 1 or 2 big bombs down the field. I mean, heck, 2 years ago in this game, Brian Maurer found Marquez Callaway for an 80-yard touchdown, and Tennessee was in the game going into the second half.
Sure was.
Part of me thinks that Georgia is Georgia, right? That until they win a national title, until they finally meet expectations there, they're just always going to underachieve in games like this.
Right.
They're going to pick that one game to decide, you know what, we're going to beat Georgia again and not look like Alabama.
Right.
But I don't think that day is today. I think Georgia gets the win today. I think they pull away late. I think this Slay is a lot like the Alabama game.
Okay.
I think the Vols are close enough to make you want to keep watching and stay intrigued in this game going into halftime. But I've got Georgia running away with this thing. Give me the Dogs 41-20 today.
I'll take it.
I think Tennessee barely covers that 19.5 that has moved down from 21. Heck, I could be a handicapper, man. I'm thinking about this right now at 21.
I caught it today.
But I look, Lucas Panzica said this earlier this week on our UT podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Moral victories are real.
Mm-hmm.
They just are. I'm sorry, Georgia fans, they're going to trash talk after this game and say, moral victory, University, it's fine. Remember that Kirby Smart lost to Butch Jones in his first year.
It's true.
But before you send that tweet, Georgia fans. So let's take a deep breath.
Mm-hmm.
Let's realize that 1980 was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But other than that, Tennessee's going to keep it close. I've been wrong before.
Yes.
But I've got Georgia today.
All right, that's cool. And listen, my fortune cookie said yesterday, people, your positivity will become a catalyst for change.
Ooh.
I'm standing on that, man. It just happened. I'm just saying, Kangaroo! Let's go!
Tennessee and Georgia coming up here in just a couple of minutes. Vol Network coverage takes over here. Been a fun show.
Yes, indeed.
For
Will.
Ron Slay, I'm Will Boling signing off here on the Tennessee Tailgate Show. Anything can happen on a football Saturday in the SEC.
Yep.
It's the Vols and the Dawgs coming up next right here on 104.5 The Zone.